welcome to my friends on another session of the NCERT 7th Geography chapter 5th water. The sun's heat causes the evaporation of the water into the vapor. When the water vapor cools down, it condenses and forms the clouds. From there, it may fall on the land or sea in the form of the rain, snow, or sleet. Terrarium is an artificial enclosure for the keeping small house plants. What is the water cycle? Water cycle is the process by which water continuously changes its form and circulated between ocean, atmosphere and land is now as the water cycle. Our earth is like a terrarium. The same water that existed centuries ago still exists today as well. The water used to irrigate a field in Haryana may have flowed down the Amazon River 100 years ago. Major source of the water. The major source of the fresh water are river, ponds, springs and glaciers are the major source of the water. The ocean bodies and the seas contain salty water. The water of the ocean is salty because the saline as it contains large amount of the dissolved salt. The most of the salt is sodium chloride or the common table salt that you eat. Distributions of the water bodies. 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered by water. Do you know what is the salinity? Salinity is the amount of the salt in grams present in the 100 grams of the water. The average salinity of the ocean is 35 parts per thousand. The Dead Sea in the Israel has a salinity of 340 grams per liter of water. Swimmers can float in it because the increased salt content make it dense. What do you mean by the ocean circulation? There is something magical about the walking bare feet on the seashores, the wet sand on the beach, and the cool breeze and the seabirds, the smell of salt in the air, and the music of waves. Everything is so fascinating. Unlike the claim of water ponds and the lakes, ocean water keep moving continuously. It is never still. The movements that occur in the ocean can be broadly categorized as waves, tides, and currents. Do you know? March 2020 is celebrated as the World Water Day, when the need to conserve the water is reinforced in different ways. Do you know what is the wave? When the water on the surface of the ocean rises and falls alternately, they are called the waves. During a storm, the winds are blowing at a very high speed, form a huge waves, and this may cause the tremendous destruction. An earthquake or a volcanic eruption or underwater landslide can shift the large amount of the ocean water. As a result of the huge tidal wave called a tsunami that may be as high as a 15 meter is formed. The largest tsunami ever measured was 150 meter high. These waves travel at a speed of more than 700 kilometers per hour. The tsunami of 2004 caused the widespread damage in the coastal areas of the India. The Indra Point in the Andaman and Nicobar Island got submerged after the tsunami. Do you know? The waves are formed when the winds escape across the ocean surface. The stronger the wind blows, the bigger the wave becomes. The tsunami is a Japanese word that means the harbor waves, as the harbor gets destroyed whenever there is a tsunami. Waves are formed when wind scrapes across the ocean surface. The stronger the wind blows, the waves are. What is the tide? The rhythmic rise and the fall of the ocean water twice in a day is called a tide. It is the high tide when the water covers much of the shore by rising to its highest level. It is the low tide when the water falls to its lowest level and recedes from the shore. Causes of the tide. The strong gravitational pull exerted by the sun and the moon on the earth's surface causes the tides. The water of the earth closer to the moon gets pulled under the influence of the moon's gravitational force and causes the high tide. During the full moon and the new moon days, the sun and the moon and the earth are in the same line and the tides are highest. These tides are called spring tides. What do you mean by the neap tides? Neap tides is when the moon is in the first and the last quarter, the ocean water gets drawn in diagonally opposite direction by the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, result in the low tides. These tides are called the neap tides. The high tides help in navigation. This helps the ships to arrive at the harbor more easily. The high tides also help in the fishing. Many more fish come closer to the shores during the high tides. This enables the fishermen to get a plentiful catch. The rise and fall of water due to the tides is being used to generate the electricity in some places. Ocean currents. The ocean currents are the streams of the water flowing constantly on the ocean surface in definite direction. The ocean currents may be warm or the cold. Generally, the warm ocean currents originate near the equator and move towards the poles. The cold currents carry the water from the polar or higher latitude to the tropical or the lower latitude. The Labrador Ocean's current is cold current, while the Gulf Stream is a warm current. The ocean current influences the temperature conditions of the area. The warm current brings the about warm temperature over the land surface. The area where the warm and the cold current meet provide the best fishing ground of the world. Sea around the Japan and the eastern coast of the North America are the examples. The sea areas where the warm and cold air current meet also experience the foggy weather and making it difficult for the navigation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get all notifications.